Today is our independence anniversary. 64 years. We thank God for taking us through the months of the year and bringing us to this 10th month of the year, the month of October, a month that depicts great hope for Nigeria. Hezekiah said here, this day is a day of trouble and rebuke and blasphemy. For the children have come to birth, but there is no strength to bring them forth. After such agonizing 8 years, the day of joy turned out to be a day never to be forgotten. Not for good, but it was meant to be for good. Therefore, like Hezekiah, we should turn to God. For this day is a day of trouble and rebuke, a day of blasphemy. For the children have come to birth, but there is no strength to bring them forth. Nigeria is blessed with every blessing, physically, spiritually, and otherwise. Yet, we are living as slaves in our own land. Today we shall remember our visionary leaders, men like Murtala Mohammed, a man who ruled for a very short time, but till today, we are still enjoying his vision. The conception of Abuja was by this man. He saw what others never saw. He saw the future of Nigeria. We will remember our leaders, President Obasanjo and Goodluck Jonathan, fighting for equality and equity. Until you rule Nigeria, you will know that Nigerians are difficult. Until you lead, you will not know how terrible it is to lead Nigerians. The things that you think will go normal doesn't go that way. But for these people, they stood for equity and equality, and the ability of Nigerians to deal with their own problems. That's what I cherish in these leaders. You may say, you didn't mention, I'm not meant to mention everybody. We know them, and God knows them much more. Today we celebrate them. Those without oil, they fought for the people to educate the sons and daughters of those peasants that couldn't have been able to afford it. Those who saw wealth in our palm oil and our cocoa. You know that River Niger Bridge wasn't built with oil money. Go to the new one they built. When they finished, it was very beautiful. But go now, the irons have been taken away, vandalized by people. These are the people that we are talking about. The prophet Isaiah says in Isaiah 22:16, out of the rock is carved out the sepulchre. And I believe that this is a prophecy about the resurrection of Jesus, who was buried in the tomb that was carved out of the rock. But my joy is that as we celebrate today, the sepulchre that is carved out of the tomb shall become a sign of our restoration, a sign of our recovery, a sign that death and this present situation is not the end. There is the resurrection. There is the power of life. There is victory over death, sin, and the devil. Let God arise and let his enemies be scattered. Let those who have boasted and taken control of our fortune, may they be brought to naught. May they melt as wax melt before the fire. Brethren, why am I saying what I'm saying? When we come to prayer, I've told the priest, I said, look, today we will use the litany, whether they shortened or, because when things come to this point, the church also calls her people to prayer. And the ancient prayer of the church is the litany. We cry out. We may not understand, but God understands. How did we get here? Greed. Brethren, that God will arise for us. Like Hezekiah, let us run to living God, our rock, our hope, and our hiding place. And as Jesus, as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so Jesus is lifted up. The rock, the stone set in Zion. Whosoever that shall look up unto him shall be saved and be delivered. Whoever that shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved.